Alright guys, Charles Peterson here. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through and show you everything that you're going to need to know from A to Z, how to make your own capture page and get it hosted online. Now this is a free training. If you're watching this outside of the training area, you can just click on the link in the description area and find out how you can profit from it and make some money as well. Alright, now this is really very simple. The first thing we're going to do, there's a couple of things that you're going to need before we get started. You're going to roll down the bonuses in the training, and you're going to make sure that you already have your easy websites editor set up, and also FileZilla, it's file transfer protocol thing. You're also going to need two definite things, which is going to be make sure that you have your domain name and your hosting account. Now I choose GoDaddy to get my domain and HostGator for my hosting account. Now you can choose whatever you like. Those are just the two that I recommend. Once you get those, get your domain name and your hosting account, when you come back, basically you can have everything set up and ready to go. Now that's that. Now what I'm going to do is shrink this page, and I'm going to continue on. And the first thing that you want to do is you're going to right click on your desktop and make two folders. One is going to be the name of your domain name, whichever domain name that you already purchased, and for me is your site .info. Gotta excuse me, I'm holding the mic with one hand and typing with the other. And right click again, new folder, which is going to be CP, all lowercase letters, and that's CP for capture page. Now it doesn't seem like I'm making much sense right now, but you'll definitely see why in a little while. Okay, so now what we're going to do is drag this CP folder inside your site.info. Okay, now this is what we're going to do, just to keep things simple. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the easy website editor, which I already have ready right here, and we're going to make the form. So to do that, we're basically going to make a simple layout. And first we're going to start by formatting the page. File, page title and properties, and we just make this capture page. And I guess the author's me, and we know what the description is, and that's not important now, but for later on it'll be important for search engine optimization. So okay, now we just press OK. Now what we want to do is select basically we're going to go back to format and do page colors and background, and we're going to use custom colors and hit background colors, and in this case I'm going to choose gray. And this is just to show you how it works. Normally I wouldn't use it on this type of page, I wouldn't use anything, but now you see the whole background is gray, and that's just for purposes of example, just to show you. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to insert a table. And in this case I'm going to insert a single table. Now you have different options. You could have 6 down, 6 across. You can have a whole grid full of tables, but in this case we're just going to choose one table. Now we're going to double click inside that table, okay, and on the side we don't want any borders, and we don't want any spaces, and we don't want any padding. And the padding is different between where your content is and the edge of the table lies, so we're not going to have anything there because this is a simple form page. And we want this to actually go in the center, and we want the width to be about judging from the size of the video in the form, let's say about 920 pixels wide. Okay, and we want the background to actually be white, so we just choose background color and white, press OK, apply, and there you have your table right here. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that the first content that we put inside that table is the header. Now remember, there's 3 parts of any page that you have to think about, which is the header, right, which might have your author, the body that's going to hold your content, and the footer. Usually the header usually has your your call to action that catches people's attention and everything, and then the body will contain your video and your opt-in form, and the bottom part is going to basically have stuff like terms of service, earnings disclaimer, privacy statement, and actually it can link to you in other networks from there as well. So we're going to show you how to do that really quick. Just double click inside the table, and you want to make sure this time that the content is going to actually be text. We want that to be right in the center. Just press apply, make sure it's top center, press apply, and now the insertion point should be right in the middle. Now we're just going to type what we want to say, and in this case I'm going to have to put down the mic for a second and use two hands, so I will hold you up too long. As you can tell, I don't type too fast, but anyhow, don't hold that against me. Now I'm just going to highlight that. Why? Well, it's two reasons. One thing, I have different options, because over here you see I can align it left. Oh, that's the whole table, excuse me. What I want to do is actually make this text different. I think that's Times New Roman. I think that's what it defaults to. So I go over here to this side over here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down. And I'm going to use this particular one. There's so many different ones you could use, but I kind of like this one for this particular purpose, which is Verdana. And now what happens, you see it changed? So now what happens is I want to actually bold that, but I want it to be even bigger. So I just keep clicking that until I get the size that I want. Okay, that stands out pretty good. Okay, but you know what? I'm going to actually change the color. So this is on the top part is the text. So I'll just go ahead to like a maroon type color. And did you see it changed the color? Actually, maybe it should be a little redder than that. That's too dark. Let's try this one. Okay. So now I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to click the return key. And is that enough space? Well, I'll give it another little bit more space. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to, guess what? Add another table. So I just go to Table, Insert, Table, and this time I'm just going to put, instead of just doing one and one, a one table, and this is a table inside a table, I'm going to do two columns, okay? And I'm going to do two down. Okay? Now to make things simple, but double click inside the table, and I'm going to make sure there's no borders or spacing. Or padding. I'm going to double click and make sure that that table lies in the center, and I want it to be the same, about the same width as the other one. It's about, let's say, just 925 just to start it off, because it'll stretch it out if it has to. And there we go. So now you see I have two columns in the part of the body, which is going to actually make it a little bit easier for me. Now I can down click, click on the bottom, stretch out the page a little bit more, so you can play with this. And now this is where my main body of content is going to lie. In the bottom, I'm going to insert another table. Insert table. This time it's going to be a single table. And now I'm just going to do is just drag this across to the end, double click inside the table, hit the table, actually take off the borders and the spacing and the padding, and actually let this align, the table align in the center again. I'm going to hit apply and OK, and now you see that I have something that I could put here, like for the terms of service and all that other good stuff. I didn't really have to stretch it out all the way, because if I click inside there and say I want the size of the table to say be maybe 600, I can do that as well. Doesn't matter. I can make the table any size I want. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to, I'm actually going to need 2 rows because this is going to actually cover privacy policy, earnings disclaimer, and terms of service. So all I have to do is right click inside that, put table insert, and I want another row below. Okay? Now inside that table I'm going to actually make that top and just leave it the way it is. We'll just come back to that later. But this is the basic outline for my capture page. Now if I click the whole table on the outside, I could actually shrink this whole thing and make it small as I want and let my form and my video fill it out. But we're not going to do that. Just want to make this really simple for you. Now what's going to happen is, now that I have the outline, all I'm going to do is add my video, and I'm not going to add it on this line. I'm going to add it on this one, so I have a little bit of space, and just in case I want to add something here like a telephone number or another call to action or a bonus or whatever, and you'll see how this all plays out in a minute. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my YouTube channel where I have the video at. So I just go over here and click right, and now what I'm looking for is this is the video here, which is actually for LeadNet Pro. So what I'm going to do is actually click the share button, because now what I want to do is get the embed code. And I just scroll down here. Now you have different options. Make sure that if you're getting your code from YouTube and you don't want stuff to show up, other related videos, just make sure that that first box is not checked, so that when they do go to your capture page, other related videos are not showing up all on the side. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm using the old embed code. Now if I wanted a different size than what they have here, I could just actually customize it over here and maybe put 525, and it's basically constrained and it'll keep it the way they want it. But I basically want it at 560. And so now that that's highlighted, I'm just going to right click, select all, and let's press copy. And now that I have the code, I'm just going to shrink this, go back to my desktop, and put the code right in here on the bottom one. But to do that, I'm going to double click inside and make sure that it's on the center so that it'll just look a little better. So I just go to cells or whatever and click center, hit apply, and OK. So now the insertion point is right there in the center on this particular box right here. So now I'm just going to go to insert HTML, and I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to paste that code that I got from YouTube right in there. Just press insert, and basically my video is right here. Now you can't really tell, but it's there. Now let's say I wanted to shrink this because I wanted the video to be a little smaller. All I'd have to do is just click object, and that would show up, and then I'd highlight the width and the height that I wanted it. But I'm going to leave this for right now because it's pretty much the way I want it. Now what I'm going to do is I have to get my form code. So now I already have my form set up in Aweber, so I'm just going to go to my Aweber page, and I'm going to basically right click in there, click select all to select it, right click it again, press copy, and now I'm going to go back and paste that in this box right here. Now the box is not here. The box is actually starting right here on this line right here. Now you see how the insertion point is blinking? That's really where the table is. So just make sure that you know that, and don't try to click it in here and there's nothing there. Okay, now I just go right back to insert and go to HTML, right click, press paste, insert, and that's my form. And see how my form is right here? I have a little space here if I want to add a 800 number or a phone number or whatever else I want to put in there. And you could always play around with this and stretch this out however you want it. But that's just pretty the height that I want, because I want to try to keep everything close together. Because a lot of times people don't have a lot of time for these fancy capture pages. You only got about 15 seconds to capture somebody's attention and keep them. And you know, here, notice I give them an offer so I can collect their lead and constantly follow up. Now that I'm right here, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to click inside the table, and I want to be in the center of the table. Click apply, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one here. I want to make sure that I'm in the center on both of those tables. Now if I'm going kind of fast, which I think I'm going pretty slow, you can actually just rewind this and watch it over and over, and you get it. It's really simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in what I want to say, which is, in this case, is going to be the 3 things that you need since the, for these capture pages since the law passed last year. And that's policy statement, terms of service, and earnings disclaimer. So I'm going to put that in and put the mic down really quick and use both hands. Ew. I don't really like that. That's too bold. For this type of stuff, take the bold off. And I want it smaller. Okay, here we go. Might come back though. Policy statement. Policy statement, earnings disclaimer, and terms. It didn't want to stay, so I'm just gonna come back and take the bold off and shrink it. And there we go. Now this one right here, I'm just gonna stretch this out a little bit. There's a little bit more space between them. And here is where people can link to me and find me in other places. Well, again, that's kind of big and ugly, so basically I'm just going to highlight all of this, take the bold off, and actually just shrink it down. Okay. Now, if you haven't done so before in the other training, but to link this is really easy, just like you would do anywhere else. You just basically highlight what it is that you want to link. Go to that chain up there by Composer, and then you put in the web address using the http://www or whatever, how you have it. So I usually, just to give you an example, I'll just go and I want this to open up in another window, so I just click that link to be open in new window, press OK, and that one is linked. So if they want to find me on Facebook, they can connect to me here, and basically you can figure that out. You can just do the same thing with those. And as far as the policy statement or earnings disclaimer and all that, we have that in the back office. You could just copy variations and then link it how it to your page, so it'll be unique to you. So basically that's it. Now what's going to happen is, to test this, all we have to do is refresh the page, and to do that we're just going to go to File, but first we got to save it first. First we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to save as the index file, but we got to save it on the desktop in that file that we created. So let's go where's it at? Where is the desktop? Okay, I'm gonna have to take the long way. Okay, so now I located the file. The file is right here on the desktop, and it's inside yoursite.info. In your case, it'll be whatever your domain name is. And this one here is CP. So I'm gonna click inside that, and I'm gonna save this file as an index file. Now if there's a lot of pictures and all types of other things in here, and it was actually on the bottom where it said all files and everything else was showing up, then I would put index.html. But right now it's reading it. It already knows that I'm saving the type as an HTML file. Okay, so now I just press save, and that's it. It's done. Now you can't see the video or anything else, but what happens is just click inside here. All we have to do is refresh the page by pressing F5, and you'll see what it looks like. Now it's not online yet, but this is just a preview of what it's going to look like online. Okay, and you see now it has a simple header, video capture page, and it has this other stuff here on the bottom, which you can figure out how to link later. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to actually show you how to get it online. Okay, so I'm going to close this out because this is not online. This is just, on my computer. So to do that, I'm going to open up the FileZilla that we downloaded when we first got the training, and mine is all set up. But basically, if you haven't yet already, basically you just put in your hosting number, your account login, which you received in your email, your username, your password. It's usually port 21, but just do a quick connect. But once you do that, you set up your site manager, and it remembers the last place you've done it. In my case, mine's already set up, and we'll go over that again in another training, but I'm just going to connect to my hosting account. Now this side is actually the computer. This side is the computer, and this side is what I have online. So now what I have to do is find that particular program, and that folder that I created. And first thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to public HTML. Okay, so now all these different sites that I have are coming up. So what I want to do is find yoursite.com. So that would be, yoursite.info. That's your-site.info, which is the site. And basically, since I've done this before, I'm just going to delete that. Okay, so now yoursite.info doesn't have that on there. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to drag that folder from this side, which is yoursite.info. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the desktop, right? And I'm gonna find, not local sites. Okay, excuse me a second. I'm gonna go to the desktop, right? And I'm gonna go to yoursite.info, and there's that capture page. See, I have a lot of other stuff in yoursite.info, but this is, from the previous one. But this is the file that I'm looking for, the one that was on the desktop inside yoursite.info with CP on it. Okay? And as you see, there's nothing in there but the index file. So now what I'm going to do is drag that onto yoursite.info. And you see it's right here, and it loaded pretty quick. Now when I go online, it's going to read the index file inside CP for capture page. So it's going to be yoursite.info/CP for capture page. So in your case, it would be yourdomain.com / whatever your lead capture page is. Okay? So to prove that, I'm going to shrink this, and I'm actually go online, and I'm going to close all this other stuff out, which is 3 tabs. Then I'm going to basically open it back up again, and I'm going to go to yoursite.info, which is your-site.info, right, /CP for capture page. And there you have it, a simple capture page, basically with a header, content that's in the middle with a form and a video, and link follow information on the bottom. And that's basically it. It's really that easy. Well, I hope this video has been of value to you. This is Charles Peterson signing off, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.